Hello, hello, hello. I'm Angela Odom, and this is Better You TV, the Better You TV weekly video show. Today's topic is shelter in place. And what does that look like? Shelter in place. What's the point of it anyway? Shelter in place. That's what we're talking about today. So go ahead and make sure that you like, that you comment, and that you share this video. Now, if you're watching it live with me, I'll ask you to interact, right? Be engaging. And if you are, not, just make sure when you post something, just put, replay, like you're watching on a replay, right? Replay, and then whatever your question is, and I'll make sure I get to you. How you doing? Is that Janita? How you doing? Well, shelter in place, that's what we're talking about today. So we know that Better You TV show we're doing, this is a leadership-themed show, and I am your leadership coach, right? And so today, really, shelter in place. So what are we doing? We're in the midst of a global pandemic. I live in the state of Georgia. And yesterday, the governor announced that the statewide shelter-in-place order that he initially, when he placed, he said, "Oh, I didn't even realize that people in close proximity would catch the virus." My God, he's in the same place where the CDC is. So I don't know what that is. I don't understand that. However, yesterday he announced that beginning on Friday, it's not even been 14 days, but beginning on Friday, some restrictions that he currently have in place, they will be lifted. Some businesses that are temporarily closed will begin to reopen. And so there's a statewide shelter-in-place order right now within the state of Georgia and in other states all over the country. And all over the world, different countries are doing various things to keep their citizens safe. So shelter in place, that's what we're talking about today, right? What does it even mean? Is it the whole point is this virus doesn't care whether we are, a man or a woman. This virus doesn't care if we're tall or short, doesn't care if we live in the South, doesn't care if we live in, the North, does not care where we live in the world. This virus is showing up and showing out, right? We hear so many things, but I just want to talk to you about sheltering in place. Really, I want to talk to you about leading yourself through this and all of the different things that you might hear. You have common sense, right? You have common sense. You've heard that thing says common sense is not common anymore. You have common sense. So I'm going to ask you to lead yourself through this. Make choices that will keep you and your family safe. Hey, Mom. And make sure we're sheltering in place, that whole social distances. That's the whole point, is to maintain a close proximity with the people that you're in your home with, but people outside of that, oh no. Hey, Gina. So a shelter in place. What does that look like? I remember a long time ago when I served in the greatest army on the planet. I served for 27 years, 11 months, and 11 days. And I remember when I was brave enough, right, to jump out of an airplane, while it was still in motion. Jump out of an airplane. And I remember so vividly having all the equipment on and all that stuff being so heavy. My God, But I was lean and mean, and I was, just in great shape. And I remember being inside of the aircraft. And the pilot would want to get so close to the ground, and they would call it nap of the earth. And he or she, whoever was flying, we didn't know that, right, would be going all these different directions. Good morning, Sam. And I remember on the inside, all of us packed in there, packed, right behind one another. And then, oh my God, I could see my stomach going up and down, up and down, up and down. And then about to puke, saying, just open the doors, because it would be hot and you would smell the puke, all of that, right? It just let me out of here. Inside, what a horrible position. And it was just like, I don't care, just get me out, up and out, right? And of course that 60 seconds or whatever that short amount of time was amazing. It was blissful. It was beautiful to see, be above the tree line and to come on down. And then you hit the ground like if you don't land properly. I remember landing on a cactus bush, right? Yeah, all that stuff all over my butt. It hurt. And so the point I'm telling you is, this is what it seems like to me when we're talking about this shelter in place. It's like we're inside of that aircraft again. We can, feel that, my God, this is so different. And it may seem to you overwhelming. Maybe the people inside your house are cuckoo crazy, right? Mean-spirited, loud. Maybe you're not used to having your significant other and your kids at the house at the same time, all the time. Maybe you're not used to or cooking every day, all day. Maybe you're just pissed off because they're loud, still have to work from home, right? And you're set up in one area, so you're like inside of that aircraft. That same or similar feeling that I had, smelling that puke. It's hot, no air in there, having all of that equipment on. Just let me out of here, right? Up and out of the aircraft. But I'm going to tell you, it's shelter in place at this time. Get over it, because it's about the mind at this point. Georgia, as I began, right, our governor is loosening some of the restrictions. And guess what? That's just, to me, it's just crazy. It's like the barbershop. I bought me some clippers, and I cut my hair for the first time myself. I dare say I look amazing. It's my first time. I'm only going to get better, right? I'm telling you right now. So, oh, by the way, he's opening the barbershops. I think I saw like a gentleman's club. Is he opening the strip clubs? Are you kidding me? Some private clubs or social clubs. Really? He's opening the massage places. Really? He's opening the hair salons. He's opening all those places that it's time for us to learn some new skills. I'm just telling you right now. So you got that little girl in your house that has that long, thick hair, and you're like, oh my God. Well, get on YouTube and learn how to braid, right? So just cut it out. It's time for us to lead ourselves, have discernment, have common sense, right? So for church services, my pastor, I don't know what yours is doing. My pastor is conducting virtual services, right? Virtual services. And what he said was, if you felt the need to drive to the church in your car, sit in your car, do not get out of your car, just in the parking lot. And like he is inside the building, and so I was like, no, I'm going to do it right here in my house, shelter in place. So it's time for us to lead ourselves. That's what we do. Who do we lead? We lead ourselves, others, we lead organizations, and we lead processes. So what I want to encourage you to do, right? I want to encourage you to get up each day, establish a routine, just as you would. Get dressed, take your shower, all that stuff. Get up, get out, move your beautiful body. We're sheltering in place. This thing is not going to end in a month or 2 months. So we're fortunate, we as in my household, fortunate to be in a safe place, be in a safe home, to have food, right? And so when I venture out, I'm going to show you what I put on when I venture out. Right? To pick up whatever it is, food, primarily it's food, and walking outside. And this whole virtual classroom thing is for the birds. But guess what? We got to get over that. We have to position ourselves to live. We are not going to get caught up in we're uncomfortable, right? And so lead within your family, lead within your organization, lead and just say, no, I'm still sheltering in place. Why is that? Is because you would rather be 6 feet apart than 6 feet under, right? This to me is just ludicrous. So for the people, for the people, it's like I need interaction. Well, guess what? I've been doing hosting virtual sip and talks on Zoom on an online platform, and that's one where literally people show up with their whatever their beverage is, from water to bourbon, whatever works for them, right? And just have a conversation. And it's amazing because now I get to talk to people I hadn't seen or talked to in years. So a virtual sip and talk with my family. And my family's in Mississippi, Texas, Georgia, Illinois, all over the place. So we've been doing weekly family check-ins, virtual, just to look at them, just to see the kids, just the kids to see them. So there's different ways you can do this thing. So think outside of what is being pushed to us. It's not that bad. You're not on the inside of that aircraft, right? You're not on the inside of that aircraft. So anyway, when you do go out, though, I did find a mask, right? I did find a mask. Put a mask on, right? And also people are making masks left and right. So when you do go out, right, somebody made me mask and sent them to me, right? You can get that made. Also, I found this, right? I found this right here. So when you do venture out, right? You do venture out, make sure that you have what you need. That first week this thing started going south, I bought some disposable gloves. There's like 100 in this box, and I bought a few boxes, right? So when I go out, I put my gloves on, have my mask. I ordered some wet ones. So when you do venture out, make sure that you have what you need. The other day, my son said to me, Mom, hey, Sabrina, my son said to me, Mom, I want to go to the Publix. I want to get some snacks. So I said, sure. This was yesterday, right? Today is what, Tuesday? This was yesterday. It was Sunday. I think it was Sunday. So he said, I want to go get some snacks. I was like, sure. So we're in the car, right? And I get in there and he says, okay, hand me my gloves. So I hand him a set of gloves. And he also has, have a mask. So he put his mask on, right? He hit his mask on, and then I put this on, right? With my gloves. Do you know that fella said, no, I'm not going in there with you like that. You got to put all that on, Mama? I said, yes. So the shelter in place is for a reason. We shelter in place. We go out in the world, right? That means that we need to have everything. That boy would not go in the grocery store with me, by the way. Anyway, so we have to be prepared to be safe. So when we come back home, we would take all that stuff off, washing your hands, take showers, all that, get it all off of you. But we're sheltering in place. So we're leading ourselves through what is different than anything any of us has ever experienced. So I'm just going to tell you, lead yourself through this. Oh, by the way, you're getting pissed off with your kids. I'm getting pissed off with mine. And then just step back and breathe. Call your sister. Let your sister hear you vent. Whatever you need to do, right? But we're sheltering in place. This is a long-term situation. So just because the governor will ease or lift some of the restrictions does not mean that you have to go to these establishments. So inside of your room, your house, your apartment, wherever you might be, I would encourage you to set up an area, right, where you have your things, whatever that is. If you have to still, work from home, or if you're not, if you're preparing to work, whatever you need to do, have one area for that set up. Oh, by the way, I wanted to share one last story with you. Oh, did he get the snacks? No, Gina, he refused. He did not want to go in the store with me with wearing this, right? So he had his mask on, and he had gloves. I had my mask and gloves, and I had my hat on. And he's like, Mom, that's too much. You don't need all that. I said, sweetie, we have to behave as if everyone has the virus. And, we keep hearing different things. I said, what if somebody sneezes in the air? I don't want it in my eyes. So I was like, nope. So he said, no, ma'am, I'm good. I don't want to go. So I just put my car in reverse. And that's something. And I left there. He says, well, what if you just gave me $20 and I go inside? And I opened my little console. I didn't have any cash. So I just took his cute self back to the house. He's not about to get me hurt, killed, or stuck with this virus just because, he's too cool. No, thank you. No, thank you. He can be cool in the house. No, thank you. So anyway, a long time ago when I was a second lieutenant, this was, I think, 89, 90. Yeah, 89, 90. Desert Shield, Desert Storm happened. It was a deployment. I was stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and we deployed to Saudi Arabia. Right, I'm gonna close this thing up. Talking about sheltering in place. So we were in Saudi Arabia, and it was we slept in tents, and it was hot, as you can imagine, nasty, dirty, dusty. There were no porta potties. There was outside facilities, right? There was no buildings for us. And I remember, we slept in like our brown T-shirts and, shorts, right? Or like our PT gear. That's what we slept in. And my mom, my sisters, my families would send me care packages. My mom sent me some silk pajamas. She sent me and my tent mate, who is my lawyer friend and my everything friend. She sent us some silk pajamas, right? And she said, just because you're in the desert, just because you're in that situation with all them men, you don't have to look like that. You don't have to act like that. So she said, put your pajamas on and act like you somebody. We were in the tent. We weren't going anywhere. Isn't that something? And so guess what? We put our silk pajamas on and we would act like we were somebody. It's about the mindset. So we're sheltered in place and you're uncomfortable, or you're like, maybe you have cabin fever, or maybe in a house or a room or an apartment with somebody who is mean and nasty. Maybe in a house with someone who is silly, junky, whoever it is, whatever it is. In your mind, whatever you need to do to survive, to move through this, to move past it, to thrive, to position yourself to be in a better place when this is calmer, do it. If you got to get yourself some silk pajamas, then do it, right? But remember, up and out of that airplane, you can deal with it. You can handle it. Get you a place. Do what you need to do. You're a grown-up. You know what to do, right? I got me a jump rope. I have a jump rope, right? And so I can only, initially, I was only able to jump 16 rotations without huffing and puffing, right? And now, I think yesterday I was up to 32 or 33. And my goal was to do 100 jumps. Now, you might be able to do 800, 1,000, whatever jumps. But what I did was I did that 32, stopped, and then skipped to 1, 2, right? And I was like, okay, I got to get back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, boom. But I did it, stopping and going, stopping and going, stopping and going, until I completed my 100. In between there, I was like bent over at the waist, breathing. But I said to myself, I am stronger than my excuses, right? I am stronger than my excuses. And that's why I really wanted to do this topic, shelter in place. You understand that we are each stronger than our excuses. I don't care what the governor determines. I don't care what the commissioner says. I could care less how many businesses open up. I will continue to shelter in place. You know why? Because I am stronger than my excuses. And I am a leader. I'm going to lead myself. I'm going to lead others, organizations, and processes. That's it. So for you, for sheltering in place for a reason, this virus is serious. It's no joke. This is not made up. I don't care who started it. I don't care who didn't do what. All I know is this thing is for real. The other thing I know is I'm stronger than my excuses. That's what I know. So I'm Angela Odom, and as always, I'm rooting for you. Do have a virtual Power Hour initiative that I just started, and that is, there's so many things that we're putting off, right? That we're like, oh my God, I should really clean this room, or I could really, actually start my own business making masks, whatever it is, whatever that thing is you want to do. You might need some support and accountability. Well, guess what? I can help you do that. You can go to Angela Odom /Power Hour, all together, POWERHOUR, and get more information. We're going to get more done in that 1 hour, focusing on that one thing that you want to do together. Now, of course, my time is valuable. I'm giving you all this free content every Tuesday at noon Eastern Standard Time, right? And so that's a paid event. But we'll meet you there on May 3rd. That's the first day. So go ahead and sign up. And we'll meet you at 6 a.m. I said it, 6 a.m. before them folks in your house get up, right? 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 6 days. And we're going to get that thing done. All right. With that said, can you type in the comments for me? I am stronger than my excuses. I am stronger than my excuses. I am stronger than my excuses. Type it in there. All right, Gina, I see you. You are awesome. I understand. Lead by example. Yes. And no, that fellow did not get those snacks. With that said, this is the end of episode 67. Episode 67 of Better You TV, a leadership themed weekly show. So we know that we're going to do a series. I want to bring that to you. We're going to do a series. We are doing a case study of the Navy captain who was relieved of command of the USS Roosevelt, right? The ship. You heard about that. I am stronger than my excuses. I see you, Janita. So we're going to do that the second Tuesday of each month. I think I got like 5 parts. It's only 20 minutes, so I can't break the whole thing down in one session. So we're going to break it down 20 minutes at a time. 20 minutes at a time, the second Tuesday of each month, beginning in May. It's a case study on leadership, right? All right, I see you. I see you, Gina. Thank you. I'm stronger than my excuses. You all take care. Again, I'm Angela Odom, and as always, I'm rooting for you. See you next time.